Hey everybody, welcome to the Ronline Report. Today we have a very special guest all the way from right here in Boston. She's a six-time pro champion in figure, including 2 New York pro wins. She has been top 6 at the Figure Olympia. Please welcome Maria Diaz. How are you, Maria?
Hi, how are you?
Great.
Good.
So this is long overdue. I should have done this interview a couple of years ago, but here we are. I don't know a whole lot about your background, so let's start. Where'd you grow up, and what kind of things were you interested in as a child?
So I was a gymnast and I was always into sport. I was a girl, not kind of like paying attention in school. It was mostly dedicated in sports type of thing. So I grew up on that area. And then we immigrated from my country here when I was 12. And then I did.
Hold on, we didn't say the country. You could be from anywhere. Where are you from?
From Chile. Chile.
Chile. Okay, that's way down South America, right near the bottom.
Yes, right at like that. It's right against. Next to Argentina.
Okay.
Yeah, that.
So,
And
what made you guys immigrate to the U.S. when you were 12?
So Chile can be like a kind of like a tough country type of thing. My parents kind of like lost everything, so we had to immigrate. And like I was telling you a little bit before, we came here with nothing.
Wow.
So we were, we started living in a basement. It was a beautiful house, but it's still like a basement.
Yeah.
And then it was 5 kids, and my parents working full time, and my sister and I taking care of the younger kids. And it was a tough childhood. Getting used to the country, not knowing the language, and always, feeling like you didn't belong here. Because now, like when you go to, like when I go back, we're not from there. But when you're here, we're not from here either.
Yeah.
So it's like you're right in that line. But I always say like believe in your dreams. I always loved the whole. I was always an athlete, and I knew that was gonna be part of my life. And I found bodybuilding, and here I am.
Let's say when you got here when you're 12, so that's like middle school. Did you continue your athletics? Because I know a lot of immigrants, that's how they sort of assimilate into the schools and make friends, is they get into sports. Were you into sports in middle school and high school?
So it was tough because I was very shy, very, very shy. So I was into sport. They knew I had the talent. Like I was always very athletic. But I was very like kind of shy about not knowing the language 100%. So I didn't want to say anything so people wouldn't make fun of my accent or, So it's kind of tough, but like you kind of get over it. Because it is what it is. Everybody has an accent. So everybody that from is like my siblings don't have an accent because they were just raised here. Yeah. But as as an immigrant, you have to kind of get over it and move on, type of thing. But yeah, and I was in volleyball varsity. I was cheerleading varsity, and then yeah.
I mean, looking at you now, you look like you're a natural athlete. You look like you would have played any sport and done very well at it. I'm just curious with the language, because I've heard a lot of people say when they go to another country and they have to learn the language, they watch a lot of television, and that helps. Is that what you did, or did you take classes? How did you learn English?
So it's kind of like it comes natural. Like you always, in school, you kind of get placed on an ESL. So it's like a special help for kids with not special need, but like help with the different type of difficulties. Yeah. And that's how you kind of learn. But then it's kind of like I started working when I was 18 years old. Yeah, 16 years old. So then I was waitressing. So you kind of like at the Celtics. So,
wow.
So then I kind of like my parents, it's kind of like a whole thing. You have to go to work very soon. So because they couldn't afford a lot. So you have to help the family, you have to help yourself, type of thing. It's like if you don't do it for yourself, nobody's gonna do it for you.
No.
So
you were working at the TD Garden at the game, like Celtics games? Oh wow.
Yeah. So then yeah. So then you kind of like start getting and it was kind of late for me to kind of speak the language because I was super shy. But once I got it, it was like, okay, let me just kind of like I was fluent about it. Then yeah, just working early in age, and then now it's kind of like it pushes you for you to speak the language.
Well, I mean, another thing is I don't know any immigrants that don't start working early. I mean, American kids, they'll stay home, they'll live at home without working till 40 if you let them. But I don't know any immigrants that don't work. It's I think there's a deeper appreciation when you come from a place where there's not as much opportunity and they don't just hand things out the way they do here. So every immigrant I know works a lot harder on average than a lot of the native born Americans that I've known. Well, that's a rant for another day. I'm curious, did you start weight training for sports, or was it after you stopped playing sports?
So so I was kind of like, I did play sports, but then, at the end of the day, I knew it wasn't my like thing. I knew, like, for me, like back then I didn't have my documentation, so it was hard for me to go to college. So I knew I couldn't get it from, like, by playing sports to college. So it was kind of like no point. So then I just started working. I knew I had to pay for my whatever I had to do. So, but working, it was like the best option for me.
Yeah. So,
and then
yeah, weights. How'd you start weightlifting? That's what we all want to know.
that's when I met Tom. I was very young, so I was 17 years old.
Oh wow.
So, yeah.
Oh wow, you guys have been together a lot longer than I thought. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I was 17 years old, and then that's when I started lifting.
Hold on, I want the story. How did you and Tom meet? Now I gotta know.
Because I used to hang out with the older people. So I had this like different, my friends, I was 17 and all my friends were 26. So it was a very like different, I was probably very mature for my age, because I knew what I wanted and I was very focused on what I wanted. But like when I was partying, like, how like a 17-year-old would party. But then I met Tom on a party.
At a party?
But he didn't know my age, because I didn't look my age. And it was funny. I haven't talked about this in a long time.
How old was Tom? Can I ask?
Yeah, hold on. So I was 17. He was we were 17 years apart.
So he was 30. I'm really bad at math.
33.
33? Yeah, okay. I mean,
Yeah.
in a lot of countries that's actually very normal, but anyway.
In my country is not. So we had to hide it from my family for a long time.
Wow.
Yeah. But that's another story. But and then that's how I met him. And but he was very kind of like, I always, because of his whole experience, I always follow kind of like, if he did like the opposite of what he was supposed to do growing up, type of thing. So instead he's like, no, just, you should do this, you should do that. And then I got into the whole gym thing. And but I was born a competitor. So I was like, do you guys have like competitive like shows? Like, and then he's like, yeah, but he wasn't very into it, because, and then we met the right people at the right time, because once I knew there was competitions about it, I was really getting into it. And I told him, like, either you help me or I'm gonna find another help. Like,
that's awesome.
And then he's like, okay, let me contact some people. And then we met the right people. I like my dietitian back then, he was a natural bodybuilder. And then that's how he introduced me. He did my first meal plan. And then another lady, Lori, she helped me with the whole feminine side about fitness, because I used to lift like Tom, like I was lifting very like heavy, and that's why my legs were always kind of overpowering my upper body. Now it's the opposite, but now I have to kind of balance that out. And that's how I got into it.
I'm just curious, because Tom's a bodybuilder. Look at him, he's got all kinds of muscle. Has he never competed?
No.
Wow.
He likes to be, he's very like the backstage guy. He likes to be the mirror. He likes to be the guy that's gonna guide you, but he doesn't like to be the little star. He doesn't like to be the center of attention, type of thing.
Yeah, we call ourselves attention whores. Yeah, in bodybuilding. He's not an attention whore, he's the opposite. Wow. So what point did you start to think about competing? When was your first competition?
So 2011, I did the Eastern USA. So I got in touch with this other bodybuilder, and he told me to go to a natural show, like the other federation. Yeah. But I was like, I didn't like the posing. I didn't like nothing about it. So I started doing my own research, and I went into the Eastern USA by just going to the dates, and I was like, oh, let me just do this one. And then I didn't know it was one of the hardest show in NPC. And And I was like, okay, but I was always very like focused on winning. Everything that I did, I wanted to do 100%. If not, I wasn't gonna, do it. And then I just started dieting. I love the whole, seeing my body changing, and I was just very, very focused. And then we said, okay, let's go to New York then. And then
Wow.
we did, and I won the overall there. Then
Wow, your first show, you won the overall.
yeah,
And that's one of the toughest shows on the East Coast of the United
yeah.
States. Wow.
And then
What about the division? Did you plan on figure, or is that just, you
I
know,
love to figure. I mean, I wasn't never. It was, let me see. It was figure, and then
I don't think
uh,
bikini didn't even
no, it was.
exist in
I think it
2011.
was. I don't know if they just started.
Hmm.
My figure was the one that was very. I love the heels. I love, you still were very muscular but very feminine at the same time. So
Hmm.
that was my best fit, I think.
Yeah, because were you naturally, you have a lot of muscle on you. Did anyone ever try to get you to not build muscle so you do bikini, or did you always just go
No,
with whatever
no,
developed?
yeah. I always went towards. I mean, going through like seeing my genetics, seeing my body, and just going for that. I never thought even to do any other
Division, wow. Yeah, I mean,
division.
back then, I know women's physique didn't even exist yet. If you had wanted to do that, I don't think there was bikini, or maybe it just started right around then. I don't think so. But yeah, wow. So you won the first show, the overall national qualifier. What kind of feedback were people telling you, Maria? You're really good. You could be a pro, this and that.
So yeah, so was Steve. So Steve, as soon as he saw me, he was like, "You're ready to be a pro."
Wow.
And yeah, everybody that saw me on stage, then behind, like backstage, they were like, "Wow," and I was like, "Really?" Like I was very like, I didn't know much about the industry. And then 2 weeks later, I did the New England, and
Yep.
I won the overall on that one too.
Yeah.
And then I did the Rhode Island back then. I won the overall there too. And then I was ready for a national. And what happened, because of my immigration status, I wasn't a citizen.
Oh.
So the 2 weeks before, the federation called me saying that I couldn't compete there. So I'm like,
Oh.
no. So yeah, you kind of freaked out a little bit, but everything, like I always say, everything happens for a reason, kind of builds you for the future. So we went kind of like all over the place. We started doing a lot more research, and then we found out like that my country had a federation. I mean, had a part. It was part of the IFBB.
Yeah.
So then there was South Americans, and it fell right where I was supposed to be. So it was like, I think 2 or 3 weeks after.
Oh.
So then I prepped for that one. That was a whole different story. The country is just a whole different game. I got second place there, and that's how I won my pro card.
Oh. What country did they have that contest in?
Venezuela.
Oh, Venezuela. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
For some reason I thought you were Venezuelan. I think it's a similar look. Maybe. No.
Maybe.
Don't get, you're probably gonna get mad. People from Chile probably don't want to be called any from any countries.
No, don't worry about it.
So what year was that you turned pro?
2011.
2011. Okay. So it took you a couple of years to start winning. You were doing well, but 2015 was your first win. You had another win. Looks like you won a show every year, 15, 16, 17. You won the New York Pro for the first time in 2018. And let's see, did you not compete for 2 years? Is that right? Or you didn't win it? You didn't win it?
No, I started working with Henny Rainbow Boy, and
Yeah.
then I did a really good off season, and from there I think I took a little break, and then I won the California, my first pro show.
Okay.
If I'm not
2015.
mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who,
Yeah.
who coaches you now? Can I ask?
Myself and
Oh.
Tom. So yeah, I do my own meal plan, and then he does the whole training part.
Yeah.
With Tom is every time I do something different. So I'm like, how come I didn't know this before? He kind of like hides his thing. He just like, we should do this, we should do that. I'm like, how come I didn't know? How come you didn't tell me this before? But it's like he's very particular about like what how he focuses on each person. And with me, he has he know exactly what to do. It's just like sometimes we need more time to build, because our off seasons are very small, and our lives are very crazy. But that's never an excuse, because I always prioritize my career type of thing. it can be a little selfish, but I always prioritize that because no matter what it is, you know, what kind of like it's like a ladder of where we want to go. Um, and yeah, and now it's just we change everything and it's working well.
Wow. Because, you know, a lot of competitors in any division think I have to be with some big name coach or else nobody's going to look at me. I'm not going to look good, you know, but
Mm,
there's something to be said for, you know, your body better than, you know, a coach would have to work with you on a lot of shows to really know your body. And Tom has obviously been with you for 17 years now, something like that. So he knows your body. He knows what foods and different things do. You know, do you think you're doing a better job now, or would you be better off with a big name coach? Because I mean, you're winning shows. You just won 2 shows.
Yeah, to be honest, I never believed on that because I always say, even to my clients, you have to go so they can't deny you.
Mm,
So if you go your best, they're not going to be able to deny you, even though like somebody, you know, has a big name coach or whatever. But like, I think United States is very fair, extremely fair. I think, you know, every judge here is very fair too. So when they see you on stage, you know, there's people that you can't deny, even though they just started. So that's why I said to even my clients, you have to go to every single show like it was your first show, meaning like you're gonna give you 110% because you never know who's gonna show up. It can be a rookie, a girl that just started, just you know, is their debut, and then you know, they win from you. So it's because they were ready for that show. So I think if you, I mean, for me myself, I know my body very very well. I know what works for me. I know what doesn't. I know how, you know, now it's just I'm learning a whole different, not learning, but like I kind of like followed my body type of thing. I didn't before. I used to prioritize cardio. Now I kind of, that's my second option. I always prioritize now 110% my meal plan. So if I do my meal plan 110%, cardio is just like that little spice you put in there, but you don't lose muscle mass. You know, you feel good. You go into a show like I never felt like, I used to feel like depleted and like tired and like stressed. Now it's just like I'm probably like ready 2 weeks before a show, and then I just maintain.
so now that you
Yeah,
said that, I have to ask, when you were doing a lot of cardio for prep, how much cardio were you doing at the height, at the most in your prep, and how much were you doing for like this last couple shows that you won, Pittsburgh and New York?
minimum. Before I used to do like what, an hour. I mean, around like 1,000 calories per day.
Wow.
That was for me. It was like I don't even know why I did that before. And now it's just like, yeah, because always you try to like, you never think that you're good. So now I just follow, like I don't follow the weight. I just go with the flow. If my body, I look myself in the mirror, and Tom is like, no, you're ready, or you need put a little bit more cardio, do this. But because you being your judge, you're just gonna not, it's not gonna work. You need somebody to tell you, yeah, somebody that's really into the industry, and they go, you know, they have those eyes, because you can't follow whatever a normal gym person is gonna say. You have to follow, you know, yeah. Because there's people.
Everyone in your gym would tell you you're going to win the Olympia. Nobody can beat you.
Yeah.
You look, you know, everybody at your level, if you see them by themselves, you look amazing. You can't imagine anybody looks better than that. But unfortunately, you got to put you guys all on stage together, and then Weinberger or Tyler or somebody's got to try to figure it out with the rest of the judges. So I got to back up. When you say minimal cardio for these last, what's minimal for you?
Like 20 minutes every other day.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty minimal for a figure competitor.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was 20 max. I did 30 minutes, and that was like not on legs day, and it was very very minimum. Like that's why I was told my body was just, you know, going with the flow. And then I always say that week of the show you have to rest. Now I learned, I kept myself in the hotel room, and I just, you know, I rest, and that's how your body just flows.
Yeah. Do you see a difference in your physique these last couple of shows? Is like a fuller look now that you're not doing all that cardio?
Yeah, so now the whole carbon up, I kind of like really measure everything to the point. I time everything. I don't like let anything escape. Everything's like very to the point, and I don't go. I go with the flow, but very like I time everything, And if you see now, like I have in my notes every single show, what I did different from one to another. I'm very specific about it. So even though like I did the New York, but then I went back to the Pittsburgh. Okay, I did this on the Pittsburgh, but this is gonna be a whole different time. So I did I changed everything. But yeah, in that part, I'm very specific, and that's how I think probably just getting a little bit tighter. Now I know what to do for the Olympia. It just now it's just getting. I mean, the condition is never a problem for us, and it's just that my legs were always a problem now because I had to stop working out legs for 3 years. And then because remember when they didn't want legs, like big legs,
Oh, I
and
guess.
it was kind of like a softer look.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then I stopped working out legs, and now like they wanted the whole. But I love that thing about like the division because he always puts, you always have to step like you're walking on eggshells type of thing. So you always have to be on top of on your toes to know what I mean to know how to change your body to kind of match what they want. So that's what I love.
You didn't train legs for 3 years?
It was
Wow.
always like plyos and very girly stuff.
You must have been going out of your mind, not able to train legs.
Yeah, so then when I came back, it was like going back to 0.0. It was horrible. Like, and now I watch my videos. I'm like, I couldn't even squat. That was embarrassing.
Wow.
Now it's just like, now I'm at a whole different level. And but it feels good to train legs. I just love it.
What did you think when wellness came out? I know wellness has been around in South America for many years, but that's like all about big legs, big glutes, big quads, big hams, big calves. Do you think if you had kept training legs all those years, you could have done if you wanted to?
Could have probably done that. That would be a look if I stopped competing. I would probably get, but not now. I mean, as a competitor, like I think it's not that I don't love it, but I just love figure, and but wellness would be a look that I would get after I stop competing for sure.
Gotcha. Just last wellness question. What division do you think wellness is closer to, figure or women's physique?
So the legs are very, very, very similar to figure. The upper body, is right in, a little bit, even a little bit bigger than bikini. But like if you put a figure next to a wellness, it's very, if you put like the lower body, it's from if you compare lower body of a wellness and a figure, it's almost the same. Like probably the glutes are a little bit more pronounced, but it's not something that a figure could not get.
Right.
And then but not physique for sure. But I mean, I don't know, because now like the whole I seen some Brazilian girls, they're totally impressive. But that's a whole different level too. And it's because like if I go very into what I want to say, it's kind of I think I should keep it to myself a little bit.
That's fine.
But
everybody doesn't. We don't all have to love every division. We can support them, but you don't. I'm not a fan of every division.
I think wellness is going to do very well though, because it's very attractive to everybody's eyes. Like a figure girl would be like in a normal world, it would be like, oh, look at that girl, So, but like if you see a wellness, it's very attractive to everybody. So I think everybody will fit in very well in the normal society and the bodybuilding society. But I think it's a great division for the federation too, because it just attracts everybody. Every guy wants to see a wellness girl, right?
I thought you were going to say it's a great division for Brazilian women, because it is.
Also, but I mean, I think Hispanic too, Venezuelan girls, Colombian girls, they're very into that look. And obviously Brazilians.
Someday the American girls will catch up. It's going to take a couple of years.
It's going to take a couple of years because they really don't. I see it on the gym too. Like it's very hard. They're very confused.
Right.
Yeah, they're very confused.
Talking about they don't know what to do. Yeah, it's brand. Any division that starts, it's kind of, there's like a year or two where no one's really sure. What are we supposed to look like? What do they want? It takes a while because even the contest, they'll be judging one show one way, another show, and it takes a little while to really iron all that out.
You mind if I hold for 5 seconds? 2 seconds, okay?
Yeah. Hey guys, it's dog related. She has 6
It's
dogs.
because I was baking, so I
Oh,
needed to
baking.
open.
Wow, women can multitask, guys. I'm like
My healthy treats. So they were in the oven, so they beeped them like if I have it a little bit too long, that they we're gonna burn, and I haven't ordered.
Nobody wants that. I don't want you burning your healthy treats. I gotta ask. I know this is random, but you and Tom have 6 dogs. How do you take care of 6 dogs? I have enough trouble taking care of one.
Yeah, so we started with with Yorkies, and we went from 1 and then to 2, and then I just love animals. I was raised, my dad was very into animals too, my grandma. So I love animals. To be honest, I'm not really into kids, like really not.
That's fine.
Like yeah,
That's fine.
it's something that I think a woman has to. I don't know. It has to, like, I don't know. It's not a me yet. I'm not gonna say it's never gonna be there, but it's not there yet. And then we started with the Yorkies, and then I applied for adoption many times for an American bully, or if you want to call it pit bull, and because I felt like that breed was very much need, because it's always I don't know, you see the whole story, everything, everybody, just judges them.
Yeah,
So
they're very misunderstood, very misunderstood.
Yeah. So then we fell into, we found, it was kind of like right in between. We were supposed to adopt, and then I saw this black, beautiful American bully. And then I'm like, Tom, this is him. And then, but Tom didn't tell me, and he had got me a American bully in Brazil. So everybody in the gym knew except me for our anniversary. So then I got Troy, and then he's like, yeah, but we have another one coming. And I'm like, oh my God. So I couldn't say no to none of them. So it is what it is now. And I know they're my babies now, and I could not say no. Now they're just part of the family, and now it's just getting used to the rhythm. But because we both have routines, and we both have our disciplines, dogs to kind of follow the owner. So if you're disciplined, they're gonna be disciplined. So for us, we have time for everything. So it sounds crazy, but at the end of the day, once everybody follows a rhythm, they just go with it. And dogs can be crazy when the owners are kind of like, they don't know, they're very all over the place.
Right.
But if you have a routine, and for me, I treat them as my kids. So now it is what it is. We just now, with the new one that just arrived, we're just getting used to making him get used to the routine. And but they're very smart, very, very smart. So they understand. And it's just, now they're just babies. They just like to play around.
Did you have to go to Brazil to get that dog?
Yeah, so that's what happened. So when we talked, I went to Brazil, and I went to get him, and then I came back. I went on a Wednesday. It was a crazy flight going there, because they don't have that many flights, so they keep you there forever. So I was probably a day and a half or 2 in the airport, and then I had to fly 9 hours to Brazil, and then coming back was no problem. And yeah. Now that's my new blonde baby.
Yeah, because I always saw you and Tom with that little. You used to have the same. It was the same dog every time for a while, right?
No, it was either Nico, that's very good flying, very well behaved, and then either Rocky, he's very well behaved. He's very he's very friendly too. And
because that dog was about this big, and the dogs you just started.
This one.
These aren't pit bulls. These are American bullies. They're much bigger than. They get to be like, Tim, the owner of Bayshore, has an American bully, King, and that thing's already like 110, 120 pounds. It's not even a year old.
Yeah, and it's also like learning a different breed. So we were so used to the Yorkies, and these babes are lazy. They're like, they don't like to walk, and like we were so used to the Yorkies, they would just go. Yeah. And this one is just like, you have to kind of drag them, but it's funny. They're super funny. They're super smart, and I'm very happy to have them. Yeah.
Cool. So we got to talk about the gym. For a few years, you guys had your business, you and Tom, Pro Lifters. I think you were training clients and you were prepping clients for shows. You had a good business, but you said that gym shut down last year.
We were independent contracts in different gyms. So we went from I started by myself at Gold Gym in Medford, And then from there, we went to MG Fitness because it was more old school and the equipment was great.
Yeah.
So even though it was, you can call it like, it was like, it was dirty. It was, yeah, not that
It was a
type of,
dungeon. Yeah. It was
yeah.
hardcore.
But for us, it was perfect for transformations because, you know, the variety of equipment, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
So, and then from there, we went back to Gold's Gym because that one, it was shutting down too. And then we were there for a little bit, a long time, yeah. And then we went to, before the Corona, we went to, what's the name of that gym? In Somerville. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah. And then after that, I just like, that made me, like, I never loved every gym that I went to. Like, I never felt like I was home. Even though I was a professional competitor, there was time that I didn't want to work out. So just because the vibe wasn't there. And every time we've been to so many gyms around, you know, the States, because, you know, competitions. And I always knew, I mean, we always knew we wanted to have a gym, and we kind of grabbed every single flaw of every single gym. And we said, okay, what can we make different? If everybody's going the right, we were going to go to the left. So for us, it's like trying to make a difference, because you can't make a gym that's going to be similar to everybody. You know, if you're going to make a commercial of a gym, you're going to be one of them. But how do you do it to make a difference? And for us, we wanted to mix the modern world with the old school world. So even if you see our logo is very like, if anybody in the industry for design, they will tell you, okay, it's very well thought, because now you see the men and the women. If you see any type of logo for a gym, it's always going to be a man. You know, so now bodybuilding, why not a woman included there? You know, I always see like a team. And then everything, like I always tell everybody, everything big is made out of a team. You can't do anything by yourself. You always have to have that partner. You have to have that team of people that is going to help you to succeed wherever you want to go. And then even the font of that logo is more modern, more nowadays. But then if you see our gym, you see the old school and really, really old school equipment. And then, you know, the high ceilings, garage doors, even though it was, you know, that place, it was very hard to find, even though it's small, if you can say. It's how I felt home. As soon as we saw it, Tom and I were like, this is it. And this is going to be our beginning. And then from there, obviously, we know we're going to go much bigger. And because now, like within probably 2 months since we opened, it was already tight for us. And I mean, thank God. But it was, you know, we opened right in the middle of kind of the pandemic.
Yeah.
August 1st.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Did people tell you guys were crazy?
Everybody, even the landlord, he's like, you guys are crazy. But now you guys signing your life away. So it is what it is, type of thing. We knew we were going to have a lot of consequences if it didn't go right, but I knew it in my heart that it was going to go right. And Tom, I was more like the go-getter. Tom is very like passive, and he'll really think before he acts. I'm more like that. Let's do it.
Impulsive.
And then, so Tom is like, one day he grabbed me. He's like, if we drown, we're going to drown together. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, oh man. So then we invested whatever, you know, we had, and it is what it is. And then, yeah, now it's like, I think everybody's really, we haven't got any bad feedbacks from the gym. As always, you know, I'm very into like, what do you have to say? That's why I even asked you, what do you have to say? So because I take that as a constructive criticism for what we need to do. Obviously, I know that it can be a little small, but what I always have to say, people there never stay to kind of hang out. They hang out in the front desk, but never hang out in the machine. So you're always going to have equipment available for you to use. And the parking spots, if you wait 5 minutes, there's somebody else coming out.
I mean, I was there yesterday, guys. I found parking right away. There were actually two open spots, or 3 when I got there. So it's all good.
Yeah.
Wow. So you guys are thinking, curious, did a lot of your clients, people that you knew from the other gyms you've been to, did they join your gym when you opened it up?
I'm gonna tell you, so what happens, so every time we get out of gym, it can be the best thing for that gym, or it can be the worst thing of that gym. It can be a little, I can sound a little cocky about it, but it's a natural thing that happened. Like every time we got into a gym, we brought like 200 people minimum.
Wow.
And then when we get out, they follow us to wherever we want to go. So the gym is like, oh yeah, they're gonna leave, whatever. And then they ended up like MG, like, um, I don't even know, like, yeah, MG kind of like went down after we left. And
Wow.
then Gold Gym, it was meant to close Gold Gym because I know they bought it out,
Yeah.
but we were gonna take a lot of people too there. I mean, it's not because we call people, oh, let's go to another gym. It's just like it is what it is. Like they follow like kind of like the vibe, and that's why I feel it's very important in every single gym. If you have the vibe, it can be like a super commercial gym, really beautiful and whatever. But if it doesn't have the vibe, you don't want to work out there.
I gotta find the picture now that you said that, because you have signs up in your gym. Geez, where did I put it? Yeah, here we go. Can you see this, guys? Only good vibes allowed. There you go. Yeah. It's proliftersgym.com, and on Instagram, it's proliftersgym. Yeah. I mean, and you're already looking at, coming out, opening up a much bigger place because it looks, you're already at the limit. I think you have so many people that want to go to your gym and so much great equipment. I bet you want even more equipment.
Yeah, for us, like I told you yesterday, we are the investor type of gym owners. We haven't touched anything like any cent out of that out of the gyms because we want to reinvest, and that's how I think a lot of gym owners, they lack on it. They think as a, they take it and then just their pocket, and then they don't invest on their babies type of thing. Like if you invest on it, the automatically you're just gonna get more clients. For us, every time we buy an equipment, it just brings more attention to the gym. So for us, we invested on the hip thrust. For it was very expensive, but like I think it was worth it because every girl wants to use. If it wasn't my gym, I would have signed up to that gym because I wanted to use that equipment. So even though there's equipment that you go, I used to have 5 memberships because they had equipment in in a different place so that I needed to use, and that's why I think it's very important for a gym to have that variety. And that's how you kind of like, if you want to make a change, it's going to get you to the next level. So for us, the more equipment, even though I don't mind, like, to be honest, I don't really care about the space. I'd rather have more equipment than space. So even if we like this, but at least I have, what I need to progress, especially as a professional athlete. But for everybody, it's so good to have, 3 leg extension, 3 leg prunes, not having to wait for a leg press or, a spin thing is it's very good.
And, I know some of those some of those pieces I saw were very expensive, like that MedX line. They don't even make those anymore. Those are hard to find. The vertical leg press you had, that's an expensive piece. That glute thing in the corner in the first room,
Yeah.
I don't even want to know what that thing costs. But enough about that. So guys, that's Pro Lifters Gym in Malden, Massachusetts. So here you are, Maria. You just won the New York Pro a second time, qualified for the Olympia. You got, geez, the Olympia is not till October. So what is the game plan between now and then for you?
So it's been a little crazy now because I had to go to Brazil. There was a lot of changes that we needed to make in the gym too, because, we got so many other more members. So everything had to be, running the way we wanted to. So because I always believe you have to have a base so you can kind of duplicate for the next gym. So if we don't have that base, that right team to move forward, it's very hard to duplicate or triplicate or whatever. So I'm very into like hands-on the business. So but I always, like I said, I always prioritize myself too. But it was a little crazy me going to Brazil, and I did my meal plan as much as possible. But it was the first time actually that I had my 6 meals a day for the day. Because I was very stressed about the dog not coming back I'm not going, not coming here. Yeah. So, but like, I trained every single day. So but I also follow my body. If I feel like my body's just, not feeling the way it's supposed to train, I take a break. But now it's just game on type of thing. Yesterday I did my very good heavy leg workout. So now it's like I feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be.
So because you were top 60 in Olympia, geez, 2017, right? Was that the year? Yes. I know you want to get back in that top 6, top 5. You want to win. So what what do you and Tom got in mind to improve so you can't be denied, so you can move way up the ranks at the Olympia?
So for me, like, it was my legs, it was always, my weakest area now, with the competition. My waist too, but by us, improving our legs, that whole illusion of my waist not being this tiny, it's just gonna compensate. And posing was one of the main feedbacks that I needed to fix, and that's why I started working with Kenny. And it just made a huge difference. How you can transform your body with posing is just impressive. And when you think you know it all, you don't know it all. So that's why when we knew that we needed help, we went who was the best in the industry, and I found Kenny, and it just made a huge difference. And it's just like how you can actually look even better than what you look by posing the right way. I always say you can have everything, but if you don't know how to pose, you're not going to show what you got. Or either the opposite, you're probably not 100%, but if you pose a certain way, it's going to make you look like you're 100%.
So we're talking about Kenny Wallach, because for people that don't know, he's the posing pro, top posing coach, probably in the world, at least in America. And so he works out of Connecticut, and he comes to Massachusetts once a week. Is that when you would see him when he comes?
I'm trying to get him to my gym because we do have a posing room, and we just said, we have the back mirror, everything that you need. So why not get him closer to us? And he's just such a great hands-on guy. So I just love his vibe. I love how passionate he is, and he's very similar as how passionate we are for the industry. And I just like to mix with people like that want to, they're very passionate about what they do. It's not about just the money side, and it's just once you have it here, just want to do it. You don't even think about the money, And that's why we want to have him, in our area, so it's closer to everybody.
Right. So I'm curious with the pro, do you prep people for shows, or is that just Tom?
No, we both do. So we do have the online training package, or we have the in-person package, but now we're doing a lot of online training. So we kind of minimize our clients in person because we do travel a lot. It's just hard to kind of let them, be with somebody else. Anyways, I do have a lot of trainings. They're all very well qualified. But there's those type of clients that only want to train with you. And it's just, so that's why online training is kind of like working great for us, because you can be any part of the world and you can still train them. So for us, I take care of the meal plans and Tom does the workouts. So it's that teamwork. And so you get two coaches. I say buy one and get one free type of thing. So, but it's working well because I can imagine my life going for like workouts, and no, I love what I do. I think I'm very gifted with the nutrition part. I know exactly what to do. I can see somebody, I know exactly what I have to do. And even I have trained bodybuilders that have done a lot of competitors. We do a lot of transformation. So meaning like you go from 0 to top places in NPC. So we just had a girl too that they never get probably top 3. That's it on NPC show. Yeah. So we do a lot of transformations like that. And we haven't got a pro yet, but because we always one point, and it's just like, but they all like our older clients, the clients that have been with us as a competitors for a long time. They always top places on for first place in their categories on at the Arnold, the Olympia Amateur. So we go to we always, like I always say, I never bring my clients to not a weak show, but an average show. I always try to get them to where they're supposed to be so they can see themselves against the best. So then that's how you kind of like see where you want to go and where you want to get them to. And and that's how I tell my clients, you're not going to a normal regular NPC show. You're going to this type of show. So it's kind of like a national level type of show. So then you know where you're at. And because for myself, I do that. Like I try to go to the toughest show so I know where I am and I know where I have to do for the next one. So that's why another interview that I had, they asked me, oh, don't you think that the Pittsburgh and the figure category is going down on numbers? And I said, no, because the Pittsburgh and the New York pros, a lot of the girls are very intimidated by it because they're very tough shows and they're very, you have the top judges right there judging you, and they're, so a lot of the girls they don't even want to go there. So for me, I always try to get myself there so I know where I have to do it for the next one.
They don't want to go to that show because they know you're going to be there. That's why.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of shows in, places like Iowa, Nebraska, whatever. You can find small shows if you really wanted to, and be someone like you would be kind of an easy win, but you don't do that. You're going for
No, I like to go. I always like to go to the toughest show of the federation, so I know where I am. And I had this guy that it kind of like really bothered me. His comment about that I was very inconsistent on my placing, and that really bothered me because I always go to the toughest show. So don't say that I'm inconsistent because I'm always placing in top 4, top 5. So once you go to an easy show, there's people that go to an easy show and they know they're gonna win, and they go always to that show every single. So you're gonna be consistent in one show. But what about if you throw yourself in the toughest show and you throw yourself in those shows that really gonna make a difference, like the Pittsburgh, New York Pro, those the shows that everybody knows, and you're getting judged by the best, and it's kind of like Olympia type of level, and that's why I was like, I always throw myself into it.
I would never say inconsistent talking about you, because I've seen you compete probably a dozen times at least, and I'm pretty sure you're always in the first call out.
I probably once that I got that I know for a fact I wasn't supposed to do the show, and I did it because it was an impulse, and I knew it wasn't gonna be my best, and that was one of probably the first time that I got a second call out. Wow. But every time I get a first call out, because I'm always focused on conditioning and where I'm supposed to be, and kind of match the category and what they're looking for, and but yeah.
Where can people go to find out about your coaching services, you and Tom's?
So we have, you can always contact the gym. They will give you the customer service line for the personal training or for the online training number or email. So that will be 617-908-0990. That will be the customer service, or you can always email proliftersgym@hotmail.com, and then they will send you all the information you need.
Right on. Proliftersgym.com. You guys have an actual website and everything too.
Yeah. And also, you can see our Instagrams, all the before and afters, Prolifters FS. That will be on Instagram, and you'll see a lot of our transformation. I still have to upload a lot more. I just have to get more time. I have to. No
worries. Cool. Well, Maria, it's been great to finally learn all about you. I've seen you win so many shows. I was at the New England when you won. Yeah, I've seen you win many shows. You're one of those people, like when I saw you win that, I'm like, well, she'll be a pro in like a minute or two, and you were. Didn't take long. You can see talent, you can see the structure, the shape. You stand out from other people when you're that good. And yeah, we all I think everybody back then who saw you said, yeah, that woman right there, she'll be very good. She'll be a very good pro. And you are, you've been. So I wish you continued success with your pro career, with Pro Lifters Gym, the online coaching and in person, all that good stuff. And of course, with all these dogs, you guys got your hands full, you and Tom. So yeah, best of luck with everything, and appreciate you taking the time, because I know you're a busy woman.
No, thank you for having me. Thank you for, having this conversation, because a lot of people, they don't know the background of everything. They just know the face, and they think, everything's easy. But at the end of the day, once you go deeper and you don't know the history, then you realize, ooh, they've been through a lot, or they, and it just, I believe with hard work and with passion, you go far.
Yeah. Well, you're living proof, Maria. So there you go. All right. Well, everybody, thanks for watching this Ronline Report with figure champion Maria Diaz. Check out proliftersgym.com, the website, and the Instagram. All good stuff on there. And that's it. We'll see you next time on the Ronline Report.